I found out why my piano teacher kept giving me lessons for free. After my parents couldn't pay anymore, the truth didn't hit me until I cleaned out her apartment 15 years later. Miss Abernathy taught piano in the same cramped apartment for over 4 years. Every Wednesday at 4:30, I climbed the 3 flights of stairs to apartment 3B, where the same faded piano lessons sign hung slightly crooked on her door. When I was 12, my father lost his job. My parents sat me down and explained that we needed to cut expenses, including my piano lessons. The next day, I tearfully told Miss Abernathy it was my last lesson. She adjusted her thick glasses and said simply, "Nonsense. You have talent, Eliza, Wednesday at 4:30 as usual." When I mentioned payment, she waved her hand dismissively. "We'll sort that out later." For the next 6 years, she never once mentioned money. Not when she helped me prepare for competitions. Not when she arranged a special recital so college scouts could hear me play. Not when she spent extra hours helping me perfect my audition thesis for Juilliard. I always assumed someone, perhaps the local arts foundation, was subsidizing my lessons. After all, Miss Abernathy lived modestly but comfortably with her collection of music books and the 2 grand pianos that dominated her small living room. Last month, 15 years after my first lesson, I received a call from a lawyer. Miss Abernathy had passed away at 83. To my shock, she had named me the executor of her estate. She had no family, the lawyer explained. "You were the closest thing." Cleaning out her apartment was like archaeology layers of a life devoted to music and teaching. In her bedroom closet, I found a cardboard box labeled T. Judd's Records. Inside were meticulous files for every student she'd taught over 4 decades. My file was thicker than most. Inside were the usual lesson notes and recital programs, but also something unexpected: copies of receipts. For 6 years, Miss Abernathy had continued to pay my parents' monthly piano lesson fee to herself. Each receipt was marked "Scholarship Fund" in her perfect penmanship, followed by my name and the date. I stared at them confused. There was no scholarship fund, just an elderly piano teacher with limited income. The final document in my file wasn't a receipt, but a yellowed newspaper clipping from 1958. Young Miss Abernathy at a piano, beaming. The caption read, "Elizabeth Abernathy accepts full scholarship to Manhattan School of Music." Paper hipped to it was a handwritten note. "My teacher, Mrs. Levin, did this for me when my family couldn't afford lessons. The only repayment she asked was that I do the same for someone else someday. I have kept my promise with Eliza. The circle remains unbroken." I sat on her floor, surrounded by sheet music, and wept. For 6 years, she had silently invested in me, never seeking recognition or repayment. She had lived alone, never married, with no children. Yet she had created a legacy that stretched backward and forward through time. After the funeral, which was attended by dozens of former students spanning generations, I returned to her apartment to finish packing. That's when I noticed a small envelope taped to the bottom of my file. Inside was a key and another note. "The second piano is for your teaching studio. Every good teacher needs 2 pianos. Start your circle now. Yesterday, I taught my first lesson in my new studio. My student is the daughter of a family who recently immigrated and can't afford lessons. When they tried to work out a payment plan, I adjusted my glasses and said, 'Nonsense. Your daughter has talent. We'll sort that out later.' Others are quiet investments made without expectation, creating ripples that continue long after we're gone. I never got to thank Miss Abernathy for showing me the difference."